Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And we went to SHUX.
We did, for the first time.
What is it?
I don't know, what is it? You tell me.
It's a board game convention put on by Shut Up and Sit Down in Vancouver.
Which is super close to us, which is why it makes it really easy for us to go there.
So today, that is the video. We're going to talk about our SHUX experience, how much my feet hurt from all the walking that we did, but all the lovely faces we've met, all the lovely games that we've played, and how much fun we've had.
Exactly. I put a list together that's in chronological order. Ilya has approved the list. So we're gonna go through the whole list and basically walk you through not our whole time, but we're gonna talk to you about the top experiences that we had basically.
It's basically like paired with games. So we want to tell you about the fun games that we played.
Exactly.
Not just our top 10 people.
And then at the very end kind of thing, we'll do like a general wrap up, just talking about like things, what we enjoyed, the food and stuff, and yeah.
You missed my top 10 people joke.
Oh, that's just mean.
Of course, that's why it was a joke. I'd never do that.
That's why I missed it.
You just ignored me.
Exactly. Because I don't like to put people in a hierarchical state.
Well, let's dive on in. We woke up very early in the morning because our flight was at 6:30 a.m.
Yes, exactly, which meant we had to be at the airport around like 5. So we're up at like 4:30 to get ready to go.
And then we were in Vancouver.
Boom, boom, boom. And almost immediately we, because the convention started at 10.
8.
Or
I think you could pick stuff up at 8.
No, you could pick stuff up at 8, and then the opening ceremonies were at 10.
Yes.
But we met up with Isaac and Lindsay from Rose Gauntlet for breakfast, alongside Ken and George. And then after breakfast, we went right to opening ceremonies, and then straight to the board game table.
Board game table.
Exactly.
Yeah, we adore Isaac and Lindsay from Rose Gauntlet. They're just the best humans. But so we played some games together.
Yes.
We kicked it off with Cat in a Box.
We did, yeah.
We played Parade. And then my personal favorite that Ken showed us was Soda Smugglers.
Which is a Knizia game.
Yeah, it's a Rainer Knizia game where essentially you're just trying to smuggle sodas
past the patrol.
Past the patrol, yes. Yeah. So you make a little bit of a bet of, hey, I'm going to give you maybe this bribe of a soda.
Bribe.
And then you have 2 hidden cards with sodas. And then the patrol, you'll take turns being the patrol, and you can either accept some bribes and let those people go through. You can inspect some cargoes, and then you can arrest some people. And those people, you'll get to claim the sodas. And by the end, you want to have the most bottle caps, which I think is a really fun gimmick in the game. Yeah. You just have a lot of bottle caps around. And yeah, it was a joy. It was probably one of my favorite games of the convention. It was really fun.
Yeah, we started off really strong. I'm usually not all about like bluffing games, but this one like sold me, and I was very happy. I'm terrible at this game, but it wasn't, that did not matter at all. I had a lot of fun playing it.
And the art now was really fun. Like the cover.
Yeah.
It's a little
what was it, a cat?
I think so,
It's like hiding himself in his thing. He's like, you want to buy a bottle?
Yeah. We had a lot of fun with that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Then our next, I guess, top moment is we got to spend a lot of the convention with Beth Salvo and her husband Daniel.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I feel like every time we had like a spare moment, we like made eye contact across the convention hall. We're like, game. Yeah. And yeah, I feel like by the end of it, we were pretty codependent.
Yeah, it was funny, like at the tail end of the convention, or right before they had left, we had met up with them. We're like, hello, codependent friends. And yeah, we just played some games, a lot of games actually, back and forth.
Yeah, we had a really good system where we would teach games back and forth. And we got to learn some of the new ones that we've been dying to play, and we taught some of the ones that. So do you want to chat about a couple of games that we played?
Well, the main one I really want to talk about is Concordia, because that was like the first game, or that was the first time we'd ever played Concordia, and Beth and Daniel and other Daniel, Board Game Feasts, Daniel Winters, he played with us as well, and it was a fantastic game. I have been, like, everybody tells us to play this game, so I've been just like itching to play it, finding
that wish list.
Yeah, finding somebody to teach us, and this convention was that. So.
Yeah, it was surprisingly really easy to pick up.
Oh yeah.
We had a really good game, and it's also always fun at 5 players too, because you get to really experience the
whole game.
The whole game.
If you get an expansion though, it can play up to 6.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, anyways, that is now for sure like wish list item game that we need to have.
Yeah. Some of the other games we played Bonanza for the first time. I've never played Bonanza, and I loved it.
I quite enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun. We did Medici the card game.
Yes.
And we played Medici the dice game.
Yeah, and now it's funny because we've never played Medici.
We never played the Medici game.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because I heard the Medici, the primary mechanism is bidding.
Yep.
But in neither the dice game or the card game, that is the case.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was interesting to see kind of all the little spin-offs, and we had a good conversation around that. We also played
Next Station London.
I love that game.
Which is flip and right, I suppose you could say. And it doesn't have any player colors, but it tricks you into thinking that there is player colors.
It was really funny though, because we opened the game, and I don't think I took a video of this.
Yeah.
Our shirts identically matched the colors of the game.
Yeah.
So like everyone got their shirt color.
Yeah.
Which was like such a funny coincidence. But then we rotated the colors, of course, because that's how the game works.
Yeah.
But that one was really fun, and they quite enjoyed it. We also learned Tatsu, an upcoming trick-taking game where you play in teams, and the premise of the game is that you can play your own card, or you can get anyone at the table to play for you.
That one was interesting.
We've only played it at 2, and the 2-player variant is really different. Yes. So playing it at 4 was really fun because it was really a different sort of game.
Yeah, I still haven't pinpointed whether or not it's a game for me, but it's absolutely beautiful, and I think it's got some like there's a lot of uniqueness around saying like somebody else play for me. So
there's some strategy, big brain crunchy things. And then just to list off a couple of other games before we head out is we played some Herbaceous Sprouts. Yep. We played some Ship Shape, and we tried Gardeners. Yeah. From another upcoming game from Sit Down, where it's a real-time grid puzzle game where essentially you're all trying to please the king or queen by placing the garden in the right order, and sometimes you'll have objectives where these two bushes can't be side by side, but only Tyler knows that. So he'll start giving tiles away, hoping that it, like, nudging us to place them in the right spot and creating opportunities for that. But at one point there's 3 of you that have different objectives, and that gets really tricky.
It does get really tricky. 15 minutes is not a whole lot of time.
No, and the more that you do, the more points you score. So we tried that, and that was really fun too. We also finally got to meet Cardboard Kid.
Yeah, the whole family.
And we had a great game of just one with a bunch of folks, and the more and more people were joining, so we had extras, and it was just really fun to try to guess just one word. I feel like it's always going to be a classic at a convention.
Yeah, exactly. And like alongside Beth and Daniel, there were other folks that had come in and joined us for games, and it was really good to meet a lot of the people, and that's probably going to be talked about a little bit later on, but it was fantastic to meet all these board game lovers and just chat and get to know each other. Yeah. But I think that wraps up that particular point.
Yes.
And now we'll move on to the third one.
Now, trying to keep chronologically, we got to do some demos as well, which was really fun. There's a lot that we wanted to demo. We didn't get to demo everything we wanted to demo.
No, the exhibit hall was actually pretty busy. So
yeah,
which is a good thing. So
we'll talk about that at the very end. I think right now I want to talk about Crop Circle Champions.
Woo, yeah, let's do it.
So this is a new game coming out from Jellyfish Games, and we got to demo it, and it was really fun. Yeah. And it gives me a little bit of vibes of Calico, where you have kind of 2 tiles. Like usually in Calico you have a tile and a token, but here you just have 2 tiles, and they have.
It's actually more like Cascadia.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
I don't know why I said Calico.
Like, hang on a second. I thought it was more like...
I didn't mean Cascadia.
All right, Cascadia.
So they're tiles, and they're in different directions of different colors.
Well, okay, so the whole theme of the game is that you've been brought down to Earth to compete in Crop Circle Art like championship, essentially, and your whole job is to create these pathways but match these patterns in a fast, efficient, and effective way, and you'll do that through exactly what Ilya's saying, is drafting these tiles that have different patterns on them, that have like connectors, almost like road tiles, but they're literally your crop circle paths. So it's really cool.
Yeah, so once you fill those goals, you will cover up the paths and not be able to use them again, which makes it really tricky. So it's a little bit of a puzzle, but it plays really quickly. I also love the look of the game. It's really fun. But yeah, keep an eye out for this one, because I think it'll be one that we'll particularly enjoy.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones that like felt really fast, because I know like some of those tile placement games you can get a lot of like you can freeze up when you're trying to figure out which to take. But even if that happened, like the other people could go because it's not determined by what's going on. It's not a solitaire game, but it speeds the game up when everybody else can like go when you're trying to figure out how to
As long as you're not
place
peeking
your
at the upcoming tiles, you just do your own thing, finish placing them, and then you can go. That was really fun. We got to meet Cody as well, who is the publisher behind Jellyfish Games. So.
Yep, exactly.
Now, the next game we got to demo, and I will say this is my favorite game of the convention.
Yeah.
Is it yours too?
Or we'll get to it, but this
Point
one is a
City.
contender. Yeah, Point City.
So
Point
this is
City.
we finally got to meet Flatout Games, the individuals behind them. We got to meet Sean and we got to meet Molly, and I love their games. Everything they do is just magic, and it was such an honor to finally meet them. And we got to demo and play test Point City and an upcoming game they have called Deep Dive.
I think they're gonna be combined together, right?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
The plan, like they're gonna do
not like they might be releasing at similar time.
Yeah.
But Point City is amazing.
It's a step up from Point Salad. Is the best way to
describe
describe
and in
it.
weight as well. So I feel like there's so
Yeah.
many choices that were so smart. But essentially, you get a grid of cards, and you'll choose any two, and they can be side by side or orthogonally any way.
They have to be.
But the cards that you choose, they flip into the other variation of the card. So there's resources and then buildings. So and you're trying to just get and build your engine so you have the best set of buildings that score you the most points. I lost miserably, but I had so much fun.
I got pretty lucky in this one, but it is exactly what Ilya said. It's an engine building drafting game, and you can just like slowly get a lot of different resources or buildings that start to build you up this really amazing engine where you're then building other buildings for free or building buildings so you can get goals, and it's a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games that I feel like we'll just play casually all the time.
Yeah, it's really simple to get to the table, really easy to teach, and then just like it flows extremely well. So I'm really excited about that one.
And Deep Dive was really cool as well because essentially you go diving and trying to score sets of fish that are worth a certain amount of points, but you had to score a full set of 3 colors in order to get full points. In order to get full points, in order to move on. And there's a little bit of push your luck element because every now and then you'd get predators coming after you, and you're little penguins. You're just diving in.
Exactly.
So this one was we were still playtesting because it was very prototype, but it was so much fun, and I also really look forward to this one.
Yeah, exactly. We honestly have been a fan of Flatout games from the very beginning, and it was just like a surreal experience to meet them and get to play games with them. So very, very
super
happy.
fun.
Yeah. Well, afterwards, after we had finished playing those 2 games, we were able to meet up with Board Game Spam and Board Game Feast to first off go for some food.
Yeah, which was Andrew,
amazing.
Pia, and Daniel.
Yes. Yeah, I was just really excited. It was a super good choice. Recommended to, I believe, Daniel by Hot Banana Games.
Yeah.
So we tagged along for that, and it was super, super, super good food. But then, of course, as board gamers do at a board game convention, we came back to the convention to play some games, and we landed on Cosmic Frog, which is this great, hilarious game where you're basically a
intergalactic frog.
Yeah, and you're going through this space, gobbling up specific lands so you can spit them out and create worlds, essentially, or like
something like that.
Something along those lines. But it's hilarious because you're basically fighting each other and like punching each other and pushing each other off into the ether or the outer dimensions.
There's a lot of gullet and uvula action, so that was
very fun.
Yeah, I think the theme of it was just really funny, and I feel like every time, and the turn order is also randomized, so you have 3 turns in the round. But your turns could be right away or at the end as a card. So I remember I kept waiting and just like, no, I want to go. It's my turn. We also have abilities. It was very thematic and really fun. And Chase from Run a Man Games, who published Bandata, joined us as well, so we got to meet him. And yeah, our frogs really duked it out. I don't remember who won because we were just laughing the whole time.
Yeah, it was not me, but there were some hilarious moments like back and forth, just like fighting each other and punching each other.
I think it was me.
I don't know
because I had some good land action. But my gullet was always full, and I had some devious attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it was really fun.
Disgorging.
Disgorging. Yeah, there's some not great words in that game.
I thought it was perfect. It was great. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was hilarious, and I really enjoyed it, especially with those hooks.
And right after that, we got to partake in an experience.
An experiment.
An experimental experience where we played Fit to Print.
Yes.
So we played Fit to Print with a variety of people, including Pete McPherson himself and a bunch of different people.
The Flatout folks. Yeah. A bunch
So
of different people. Yeah.
Generally, the way that we play, because typically this is, you're playing at your own game at your own table. We played this in team, almost party mode, I want to say. Where one person would go far away, or a table away, to collect the articles they want to appear in their paper on their little table, carry their table over slightly, not dropping any tiles, dump them for the other player to quickly arrange them and score the most points, which is the premise of Fit to Print. And there was yelling, there was a little bit of competition at the table trying to get those tiles.
Definitely competition at the table.
But it was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
And I remember them chatting that they might even incorporate into the game. And who knows, that could be a really cool variant to really play. But the amount of laughs that were had, the amount of just yelling back and forth, I need an ad!
Yeah.
Or we're trying to like block ad out somebody else, and I think at the end somebody took all like the thin tiles. And I'm like, Tyler's like, I need a thin tile. I'm like, I don't have it. Because they took it all.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really good. I will remember that for a while, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I think we closed out the night with a quick game of Wits and Wagers with all those folks, and it was just very wonderful.
Yes, yeah. That game is very fun, even if you have no idea what the answer is. That's
I
fun about it.
did really bad.
Me too.
I think,
we were on a team, so we both did bad together.
We're like, we think it's this, and neither of us were even when we disagreed, neither of us were close.
We were close to the Beatles one.
We were.
Yeah. But that was that experience.
Now, the last day of the convention, Sunday, we kicked things off with a demo of a game. And that is Starry Night Skies.
Yes. By Emma Larkins.
And it's coming out Buffalo Games. I think it's coming out next year. And it is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous game.
Yeah, it's about like constellations and connecting them with the stars that you have.
There is an otter constellation.
There is.
How did you feel about that?
I didn't even get to complete it. No, it just didn't make sense for my strategy.
It was a really fun game because essentially what you do on your turn is you'll draw an objective,
draw some stars,
and then move and complete constellations. And once you do that, you get points. So there was a lot of instant gratification in this game, which I loved, because every single turn you would score points. And sometimes it's only 1 or 2, but sometimes it was like 6 or 8.
Yeah.
So depending, and it never felt like you were missing out. So I think you had a really unfortunate luck of drawing only yellow stars for like the first 2 or 3 turns, which is the odds of that are really unlikely because there's 3 different colors and they're balanced pretty evenly. But we were still very competitive at the end. It was amazing to see the board open up and the stars to just start scattering. The presence was beautiful. And yeah, I was intrigued in this game from the start.
Yeah, it made it basically like as you play the game, it expands out, so it's easier for you to get and discover other constellations in the night sky. And it was very fun to just be able to like connect those paths to see which ones you could go to next, how you could use your stars, and like, yeah, you just went for it. And like Ilya said, it didn't feel like you had to always be like optimizing it. You could just like roll with your punches, and you got instant gratification, which is fantastic. But you also got game end scoring, which was also fantastic.
Yeah, I was so close to completing mine, but I drew all red stars.
Oh yeah, that was.
I was so excited. I needed a yellow or a blue, and I would have been fine. Yeah. And I drew all 3 reds. 3 reds. But we'll definitely be talking about this game in the future. It's absolutely stunning. Definitely check out Starry Night Skies. And Lemma is amazing. She was great to meet and chat with.
Emma.
That's what I said.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear that. I was like, what? Who?
Emma.
But Emma, yes. Yes, she is.
And then we finally got to demo and playtest some games from Rose Gauntlet.
Yes.
Which one do you want to start with?
Well, Keystone, because I've actually been playtesting the other game for quite some time. Let's start with that.
So we got to try the new expansion for Keystone.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, it's still very much in the works, but we looked at some of the core mechanics in the game that will be changing. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, basically there's this whole new thing about conservations that are going to be put into place. I'm not going to say much about it because it might all just change. But there's like conservations that are now in play that replace secret objectives and add to this whole gameplay of drafting cards and where you're able to put them. It gives you a sense of a bit more freedom in the decisions you make, which I'm really excited about. And basically, it'll provide another scoring opportunity. And I'm really excited to see what comes about with the whole expansion once it is ready and good to go. But yeah, I had a great time. I think the expansion makes the game better. Yeah, that's all I really have to say.
Yeah, and it was cool to see because like I think Isaac was even changing some of the elements while we were playing, and it's always really cool to be a part of that process. But I loved this expansion because I think all the things I was like, this makes me not feel great in Keystone, all of a sudden I can do, and I felt free. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a really good time trying, and I can't wait to see all the new animals that will come with it because that wasn't included potentially, and all the mechanics in the finalized version of it because I know I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see all that stuff too. And then of course, like, we don't often get to play that game at 4 players. So it was nice to be able to get it to the table and test it at 4.
Yeah. And then the other game we got to play is
this fantastic box that we got to bring home, Wild Gardens. So this obviously is another game by Rose Gauntlet. It's designed by Isaac himself. And it's just a game about foraging and making friends. This game is absolutely beautiful. You can tell right by looking just at the cover, and they put a lot of work into it. I think it's amazing, at least for me, from my perspective, to be on that, like inside watching the game evolve. I've been really fortunate to be a part of that whole experience. And yeah, we actually got to play it and give it a go in person with the whole game. This game is a prototype and there are a few things that are going to be changing, but for the most part, the components are fantastic and the gameplay was fairly smooth. I'm really excited about it, and yeah, that's it.
You're essentially just going around the board collecting various forageables and then utilizing those forageables to make meals, and then you either contribute them to the pantry or serve your customer or serve not customers.
Invite your friends over.
Invite your friends and then give them some meals, and then they're like, I'll give you some abilities in exchange for those meals.
Exactly.
Yummy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in awe. This is probably one of the most gorgeous games I think I've seen.
Yeah. I guess like mechanic wise, like you're moving around this board every turn. Well, not every turn. It's up to you. But it's a worker placement on your own board, and you basically just like go and choose what action you're going to use. Single action on your turn makes it very, very smooth and very, very quick paced. Because then everybody can be involved and not feel like they've got to wait for the person that's going right now to take up and finish their whole turn. So yeah, there's a lot of good things I can say about this game. I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait for it. I can't wait to share more about it. Yeah.
What was really cool too is Isaac and Lindsay did a panel around growth with Tim Eisner and Emma Larkins. Yeah. And it was really cool to see from the designer perspective from a lot of the ways that they've grown in the industry. But what they did is they did a scavenger hunt with a bunch of different fruits around the whole convention over the couple of days before this panel. And everyone who found one got to come and participate in a mini game. And it was centered around foraging. And essentially what the game was is you were in this random scenario each time, depending on what fruit you foraged. But you would get a forageable item. And then the participants would have to raise their hands if they ate it.
If they would eat it.
Eat it to survive, or not eat it. Yeah. And if it's poisonous.
And you ate it.
They died.
You were eliminated.
If it's not poisonous and they didn't eat it, they starved.
Yeah, so basically you had to get it right to stay in the game.
So it was cool to see all the prizes, all the audience would play along as well. So people were just laughing. And I kept whispering to Tyler, I'm like, I would eat that. And then they'd be like, it's poisonous. Yeah. And I'd be like, okay, I guess I'm not meant to forage and survive in the wild. But he was really good at it. He'd be like, I wouldn't eat that. And it was poisonous, so he survived.
The thing is I wouldn't even question to eat these things if I was out in the wild. So like the things that were actually good for me to eat, I would have like walked right past and been like, there's no way I should touch this, because it was just a leaf. or a root or something like that.
Hey, that's where the nutrients are.
But it's cool because it's like an educational experience as well, and that's hopefully what this game will also drive home.
And that was our experience with Isaac and the Rose Gauntlet games, which are all very, very exciting.
Mucho exciting.
Mucho exciting.
Yes. Yeah.
And now, that was generally our Sunday. That was a lot of, like, the games were quite lengthy, and it was wonderful to see everybody and also to say bye to all the folks. I'd be amiss if we didn't mention a little bit of the exhibitor hall.
Yeah, just overall
let's
in
quickly
general.
chat about that as well. Yeah. It was just wonderful to see all the games there.
Yeah, it really was. Like we had said before, there were some games that we really wanted to demo. Oh gosh, why am I blanking? The games from CGE.
Yeah, so Deal with the Devil.
Yes, thank you.
We got a rundown of both of these, but we never got to play them because they were just so busy every time. But Deal with the Devil and Starship Captains are the new CGE titles, and they were really. I don't think I was that sold on Deal with the Devil. I don't know why. I think when I first read about it, I wasn't super into it. But watching the gameplay and having the game explained to me, I'm like, I really need to play this.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for us to play because it's only 4 players.
Yeah, only 4 players.
Yeah, so that's an interesting concept to put forward. I'm really excited to see how it does.
We're going to make it happen.
That's what they made the game for. They optimized the game to play at 4, and they left it at that. So I'm really excited to be able to try that out when we get the opportunity.
And Starship Captains just looks incredible. I can't wait to play that game. I just know I'm going to love it. Watching people play and looking like the sparks and eyes was just incredible to see. We also saw Harrow County.
We did, yes.
And the cube tower in that game that's incorporated into the box. Wonderful. We also saw the trailer for it, which was really cool. I'm very sold into this game. I'm really intrigued. And the Kickstarter for that game is actually live, so feel free to go check that out because it's definitely a game you might be intrigued by if you were like me.
Yeah, and it starts as a 2-player game, so that's really neat. I'm really excited to see how that goes. Yep, very excited about it. The next one that I'll probably mention is just like Lacrimosa was there. So Devere Games had their own little table. They had their demo set up for Lacrimosa, and I believe at a certain point they transitioned over to Luna Capital, which is also a really fantastic game. So I was excited to see them get both of those to the table and demo them. Of course, we played them both, so we kind of went and said hi and then left it at that. Let everybody enjoy the games themselves, and yeah.
And then Tabriz was another one we really wanted to play. And again, it was so busy, but seeing this new release from Randy Flynn is just gorgeous on the table. The people that were playing it looked very excited, and I can't wait to play that game. It just looks so good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And I think last but not least, we'll mention the AEG and the Flatout booth were always bumping.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like there were a lot of games already set bet, and people were just all over it, so excited to see the horse racing come to that life.
Yeah, John D. Clare was there himself, and he was running it, getting really excited about it. Obviously, like, it's his game, so you could see him like shine when people were enjoying it. And then also just like the folks from AEG and Flatout, just high energy, really great at just making that an experience, and also trying to really highlight what that game is about. They were just so good at it. I just walked by and everybody looked like they were having so much fun. Ready, Set, Bet is a great game. It's not my type of game because I'm not into like that bidding action. But there's close races when you come to rolling dice. It's just like hilarious.
It's a great game to bring people together.
Yeah.
And just like no one remembers who wins. It's always just the experience of it.
Yeah.
But Fit to Print was also bumping. I feel like that table was always filled. And you hear the rumblings of people like, have you tried Fit to Print yet? And the game is just so wonderful too. We're so excited about that one. Yeah. But that was generally the exhibitor hall. And that was our overall experience at SHUX.
Yes, yeah, it was quite fantastic.
Yeah, we want to say thank you to everybody who played games with us, who came and said hi. We appreciated it so much. It was just such a wonderful time meeting all of you. And hopefully we'll see you at another SHUX.
Yeah, exactly. This one's really easy for us to get to, just because it's so close in proximity. So it'll probably be one that we look to keep going to in the future, which means Vancouver, here we come.
2023.
Exactly.
Last but certainly not least, for our question of the day, Tell us about a game that you've played that just had sparks flying of magical sparks of gaming friendship.
Yeah, give us one of your top experiences you had, the sort of rounded around board games that happened in the last month or so, and yeah, just leave it down in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
Exactly. And if you liked our video, hit that thumbs up, do all the things that YouTube would do. And with a last little tidbit, because we got to spend an extra day in Vancouver, we went to the aquarium, and as we all know, Tyler loves otters very much.
I do.
So we got to meet some otters, take a look at them playing with their little ball.
They only had sea otters though, and they're not.
They didn't have river otters.
They're They're still in my favorite animals, but they're not river otters.
River otters are Tyler's favorite. So we'll do a little montage to end off the video of our experience at the aquarium.
Yay, aquarium!
Bye.
Bye.